Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. This is the Chili Willie's Pro Mod car. If you recognize it, that's because you've seen it in the winner's circle. If you don't recognize it, that's because it's usually a blur going down the racetrack. Now, if you've got a race car like this, it's awfully complicated, a lot of systems to run, and you need a way to manage it, and that's why I'm glad you're here, Luis, with Fuel Tech. Now, first of all, let's talk about the kind of systems there are on board a car like this.
Well, we have over 3,500 horses being built by a lot of gasoline, a lot of nitrous, and a lot of different sensors on it, you know, to be able to have that being built up and make this car go really quick down the track.
And how do you manage all of that?
Well, we have what we call an all-in-one unit, the FT600. It's a ECU or a VMS, whoever you would like to call better, because he actually managed the whole vehicle. It's not just an engine controller. So this unit is capable of manipulating the amount of fuel that we need, when we need, right? But not just that, it goes into how much timing we need, when we need, nitrous, how much nitrous we need, when we need. So all of those details, it's really important, the amount and the timestamp. Because when we talk about drag racing, and mostly higher grade drag racing, we talk about runs that can be completed in less than 4 seconds. So we are going over 600 feet, or sometimes over 1,000 feet, 1,300 feet, on such short amount of time that everything happens so quickly that's really hard to achieve that precise control. But through this kind of equipment, we can do it.
In the old days, you had a separate button for your fuel system, you had a separate button for everything in there, and this consolidates it. How much easier does it make it on the driver?
Oh,
because you're the driver of this.
Yeah, I can tell based on my experience, right? Like I just started driving about a year ago. I was never into this kind of driving. I was into racing. I was with teams, we know different drivers, friends and stuff, but never in the driver's seat. By getting into one of the top cars that run nitros on the whole history of drag racing, never being into something near as quick. So for sure, the way that the system handles the car and majority of everything that happens inside the car helped me out tremendously.
You have 3 different units here. They all essentially do the same thing, but the difference is how many processes they can handle at the same time.
Yes.
So quickly, starting with this unit here, what kind of vehicle would I want to put that?
The FT450 is our entry-level vehicle. We always thought, like, man, why should we have something that's really expensive that only the higher level cars can use? Let's do something that anyone can. If you have a single cylinder, 2-cylinder like a Harley, or a 4-cylinder like a Honda front-wheel drive, you know, vehicles that don't require so much in and out, the 450 is the perfect option. It will run whatever you have in the car, whatever kind of fuel that you have on your race car, whatever ignition system you have, and whatever power adder as well. So you're not limited on what you can do, it's just like how much can you do at the same time. So as we go to the FT550, the unit manages more stuff at the same time, so you can manipulate a V8 with more injectors, or you can run turbo and nitrous at the same time. And as we go to the 600, this is the last step, our top of the line. This one is capable of running a vehicle like this. So this one we talk about 8 coils, 8 injectors, 7 stages of nitrous, 5-speed transmission where each gear has a specific solenoid to be activated. So you see like there's a lot of outputs. Then you go to the inputs. You have all 4 corners, wheel speed, shock travel, ride heights, pressures everywhere. You have 2 bottle pressure, oil pressure, pen vac, fuel pressure. All of that, it will require something like this. But if you have a vehicle that doesn't require so many sensors or don't require so many coils, so many injectors, something like that, the 450 is the perfect option.
All right, I'm a dummy. This seems really complicated to me. What if I can't figure out what I need to do to program this?
It's complex for sure because there's so many features, but it's not complicated. Like we have a lot of the information that you need on the manual. But if you cannot have everything here, we have great tech support. People over emails, telephone all the time. We go to the track most of the time. And we also have what we call the Fuel Tech Advanced Factory Training, where you can bring your team, your car to our facility, and we have a large hub dyno where we can dyno your car as we go through any questions that you have, making sure that everything works, and when you go to the track, you just stand down the track.
course, you can use your laptop in the pits or do it right from the controller to make all your settings. As you roll up to the line, how much control do you have as a driver?
100%. You can do small adjustments on the screen because it's a full touchscreen unit, or you can swap the whole tune if you already have a Plan B design.
So if you find out the weather changes, bald spot in the lane or something you need to change.
Yes, and that's touchscreen right there. The car is moving after the burnout, don't have to shut off, just send a different tune and go.
That's amazing. All right, we talked about control. Let's talk about the actual manipulation.
Yeah, so we had the brains over there, and here's pretty much the arms, right? So we have our FT injectors line of fuel injectors from 720 all the way down to 320 pounds an hour. So they are compatible with gas, alcohol, E85, nitromethane. Whatever fuel that's being used for racing, it's compatible with.
And you also brought along the FT Spark. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so like this is pretty much a revolution in ignition systems. It's really, really high spark discharge with individual coils. So it allows you to manipulate timing on ways that you could not do back in the day of a distributor. You can go really negative numbers, negative 30, 40. There's no problem. You don't drop energy power. So you can manipulate power quickly because ignition is the quickest event on an engine. So we have the FT Spark as a line from 4, 6, and 8 channels, and we also have the FT Spark Extreme. This unit was actually developed to be used on fuel nitromethane engines.
Well, if that's not enough, you guys also have a plug-and-play harness that hooks it all together. And if you want to learn more about Fuel Tech, talk to the guy next to you in the other lane because he probably just beat you, or you can go to fueltech.net to see what they are all about. This is super trick. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so just chill out for a couple of minutes.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Nittler Brothers, shaping the world since 1980. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Phoenix Technique, remanufactured diesel fuel injectors.
Thanks for cruising along with us here at Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. A few episodes ago, we saw our friends from NextGen. They came in with their ceramic spray and some of their products, and they took a 50-year-old car and made it look like it did 20 years ago when they restored it. Now, right here, Jim, we've got a car that's a lot newer than that.
Yes, we do.
Why do we want to use a ceramic spray on something new?
Well, Dave, a new car has a clear coat on it, and the clear coat's just a paint without pigment. And that paint can still be destroyed by the environments all around it. So you want to have a sacrificial barrier between the paint and the environment to protect it against all the things that can be thrown towards it, like acid rain, bird bombs, bug splatters, all of the like.
How does a ceramic coating do that?
Well, it actually has a molecular bond with the paint. So it gets into the clear coat in such a way that it anchors itself in and makes a better bond than a traditional wax or a paint sealant would. And with that, it puts a nice smooth layer over the top surface that protects the paint for many months or sometimes several weeks or more to come.
Let's talk about the ceramic spray from NextGen here. We've seen it at work before on an older vehicle. Let's talk about how it can protect and what different surfaces can you use it on.
Well, the interesting thing about the NextGen product is you can use it on most any surface minus the carpet. But I can simply spray it on, and you can see I'm getting on the glass and the rubber molding.
Which, by the way, growing up, whatever products we had, you'd try to spray the dash, and you spray it on the windshield, and it's a disaster.
Never want to do that.
Yeah.
But the hydrophobic qualities within the NextGen ceramic spray, it actually makes the water bead up and repel off of the glass, and it darkens up the molding and puts a nice protective layer between that and the environment as well as the paint. And you can feel it feels slicker than ice.
Oh, that is amazing. Yeah, very cool.
And it's a very simple product to use. Anybody can use it.
How long have you been at the detailing business?
I started detailing when I was 14 years old. So I've been into this for probably about 35 years.
So how does NextGen compare to all the products that you've used in the past?
You know, there's a lot of great products, a lot of big brands that I've used all through my life. What I found when we started working with the NextGen product line was all these products had more of an industrial grade chemistry behind them, whereas NextGen went even a step further and was more pharmaceutical grade. So the protective levels, the abrasives, the surfactants, they all work much, much better. They're much, much cleaner, much, much safer to the environment and the person that's using them.
What sets NextGen apart from the other products that are out there?
You know, Dave, as a professional detailer, for years and years, I looked across so many different manufacturers to find the best product here, the best product here, what's going to perform the best, you know, out of all these products. And what NextGen has done is they've accomplished that across the board, with their cleaners, surfactants, from their abrasives to their protectants. Everything that we have on the menu there is better than anything you're going to find in a Pro-Line detail shop or from a manufacturer standpoint.
That's a great endorsement from an actual professional who actually uses the stuff. Now, I don't like to work all that hard. How often do I need to apply Next Gen to my vehicle?
So, one coating of this will last 3 to 6 months on a normal car. My personal car, I drive daily and I drive it a ton. I'll put it on once a month. Although we have calls come in all the time, people like to use it once a week. That's not necessary. We love it when they do that, but it's not necessary. I mean, one coating of this will easily last someone 3 to 6 months. This bottle will last anyone a year if they used it once a month.
All right, thanks, Jim. Take a well-deserved break. I want to go over here and talk to Michael. Michael, it's not just about the ceramic spray when it comes to Next Gen. You've got a whole line of products here. So where did this all come from?
So obviously the ceramic spray is our flagship product, but when we started Next Gen, it was actually well before we started Next Gen. Back in 2009, we actually started developing the line of products, and we really just had one customer. It was ourselves. Because we've got detailers embedded in over 600 dealerships across America, we needed a product that we could use that basically went soup to nuts, that we could send out to everybody and have a consistent level across everything that we did. So we began developing the products in 2009 and really spent the first 10 years with one customer, which was us. It was only in 19 when we branded the product as Next Gen and decided, let's take that same professional grade quality and bring it to the DIY customer. So we started with obviously our Next Gen ceramic spray because what it does for cars is amazing. We added a couple of products in addition to that, the quick detail spray, the ceramic soap, which is a soap product infused with ceramic as well as our waterless wash product. But since then, we've come out with another 15 or 16 products covering everything from the interior dash and carpet and leather all the way through the outside of the car, even including scratch and swirl removers and DIY compounds. That'll be followed shortly with all of our professional grade products, which we're going to be releasing to pro grade detailers to use outside of our own network.
Whether you're a professional detailer or a shade tree mechanic, you are going to love the finish you get from Next Gen. You can check them out at getnextgen.com/motorhead. And if you type that in, you'll get a special offer because you are a Motorhead Garage viewer. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. So do not go away. We got more cool products like this coming up. Welcome to Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We are loving it here in our brand new studio, and it's still a work in progress. We're adding to it incrementally thanks to a lot of our partners. One of those partners we really love is BenPack. They brought us some great tables from Ranger. Those work tables help us get a lot done here. We've got a motorcycle lift over there, and over in the corner we've got tire balancing and mounting equipment. And just yesterday, our friends from WeGotLifts.com came and delivered and set up our BenPack 4-post lift over there and this 2-post lift that's going to help us get a lot done here at Motorhead Garage. Now, Joe at We Got Lifts says he loves installing BenPack products. They're one of the best around.
We're a BenPack dealer, of course, and we're a BenPack service center. We've been a service center for over 20 years. We do warranty and repair work, we do relocations, but we do a lot of sales too. We sell quite a few BenPack lifts. Our customers love them, and BenPack has a great name in the industry. They're relatively easy to put together. They got a very comprehensive installation and owner's manual. The parts always seem to fit, where sometimes the cheaper lifts, you know, you'll have bolt holes that are stripped out or just bad welds or missing parts. I mean, BenPacks always seem to be consistent. Like, for example, this lift here, this 10,000 pound 2-post, is unique in a sense that it's the widest lift in its class. You look at all the other 10,000 pound 2-post lifts on the market, this one's got the widest stance. You wonder why that's important? All these big pickup trucks on the road, big full-size cars. The drive-through clearance is the most respectable. This lift's over 12 feet wide, the stance. Wider's always better in the lift industry. You don't have to pull mirrors in. You don't have to worry about opening doors to get in and out. Spotting vehicles that are wide, swinging the arms in, there's never an issue. The 3-stage arms come standard in the front, and that's a unique design from BenPack. It allows you to get a lot of different kinds of vehicles. European wide-body cars, no problem to set up. Long wheelbase pickup trucks, not a problem to set up for this model. This lift is equipped with double telescoping screw design for the spin-up pads, so it makes it real easy to spot vehicles and spin the pads up to contact the vehicles instead of like a stack adapter or clumsy flip-up adapter, which you've seen before. It's a very finite adjustment, and you can hit it every time. It's heavier than most lifts. It's a single-piece column design instead of a two-piece. Some lift manufacturers use a 10-foot column with a piece of rolled sheet metal for the extensions. This is one piece of steel. It's just a tougher design. BendPak uses 3/8 stainless steel cables. It's a heavier cable. They just use heavier components. They use oversized 5-inch machined steel pulleys with good bearings. They just last a long time. I mean, the single point lock release system on this model, it's very reliable, heavy springs, so they pull in and make sure the carriages aren't going to come down. The arm lock restraint gear system is very reliable, a lot of good engagement. They don't give trouble. On the BendPak 4-post lifts, they have an adjustable lock ladder feature. In the back of the column, there's a movable ladder. So even if your floor is unlevel, it doesn't matter. You can adjust the ladders so the lift is always sitting level. It's the air-actuated safety lock system, the pneumatic cylinders, those are great because other companies don't even use those. BendPak exclusively uses pneumatic safety lock release system. It's very reliable, it's a commercial feature right through their big commercial lifts, right down to their residential models. And they have good customer service from the sale to the warranty to the repair parts, after the sale. And that's why they have the reputation that they do. Warranty, reliability, it's a great price point. It's a great bang for the buck. If cost is an issue, save your money a little bit longer, spend 20% more, even 30% more. It's an investment you're gonna have to live with for 20 years, 25 years. When customers come to me and they say, hey, Joe, I'm thinking about buying this lift, it's $1,000 cheaper. I'm like, go with the BendPak. Here's the reasons why, and lay it out for them, The amount of money you're saving, $500, $1,000, whatever it is, it's inconsequential over the life of the machine. It's pennies a day. So long term, to have safety, reliability, dependability, it's just worth it. Lots of people use BendPak lifts. Dealerships, tire shops, muffler shops, residential people, restorations, body shops. I mean, everybody uses their product.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Eddie, from We Got Lifts for putting in our 2-post and our 4-post lifts. They look great, and they're really going to come in handy. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coating, so keep it right here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. BLP Racing Products, fueling your passion for extreme performance. Osprey Custom 4x4, we build functional art. And by Dorman Products, driving new solutions. Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
The Magic Creeper, we use it for lots of stuff here around the studio. If you've been watching the show, you can use it in your vehicle. Carry it with you. It only weighs 3 pounds. You can roll it up, take it anywhere you go. If you get in trouble on the side of the road, the Magic Creeper is going to come in handy. You can also use it to work on your car in the driveway. Get underneath. You can use it as a fender cover in case you don't want to get your clothes dirty or you don't want to scratch your vehicle. The Magic Creeper has all kinds of uses around the house, and you are going to love it. The pros love it too, and we're not just talking automotive pros. We talked to our friends at Wholesale Supply in Kingsport, Tennessee. They get electricians and plumbers coming through their place all the time, and those guys love the Magic Creeper too.
There's a lot of people ask about it, and we just tell them, I said, this is what you need right here. I first thought, what is this contraption? I said, this thing won't work. And then I laid it out. I said, man, this is the shiz knit. I said, this is Big Daddy right here. I've been a plumber for over 30-some years. It would save my back plenty of times. I've always had scrapes and scuff on my back when I get up under a kitchen sink or beside a toilet and everything. It works perfect. The Wholesale Supply Group, we cater to contractors, people off the street, homeowners, electricians, plumbers, HVAC guys. Electricians get in small spaces, plumbers do too, just like under a kitchen sink. It would save your back with that edge, rolled edge. Man, it feels great.
One of the things I love most about visiting New Hampshire Oil is to see how they innovate, how they're constantly evolving, and how they're always changing their products to keep their customers happy. And Joe, you're working here on the viscometer. What are you brewing?
We're actually checking the viscosity. It's part of our quality control program.
Excellent. And once you test that here and some other characteristics, how do you then test the durability or the longevity of your product?
So we're going to test for viscosity, we're going to test for sag and stability. Then we're going to put it into our B117 testing cabinet, which is recognized as worldwide standard for testing. That's going to actually apply a measured heated salt mist fog over the metal chips that we put in there, and we then can gauge the performance of our products against previous batches and competitors.
How important is it for you to keep moving, to keep innovating like this?
It's in my DNA. I mean, there's so much technology out there, and I'm always curious to see if we can utilize it to improve the product.
Of course, you have the lab here. You have a team of chemists that works for you as well. But you also have the biggest laboratory, maybe in the world, the entire New England region.
That's really the only test that counts. It's real world testing. How does it perform on your vehicle? And so, yes, we monitor the vehicles that come through here on a regular basis.
Well, you can see the products, you can see how they develop them, you can see what they can do for you at NHOilUndercoating.com. Well, that's going to have to do it for this episode of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, because we're getting kicked out of our studio. That's because our friends from Knoxcrete and Resin Works are putting new floors in our brand new studio, so next time you see us, it is going to look fabulous. But don't you worry, we're going to make good use of our time because we are headed to Las Vegas to the annual SEMA show. Thousands of vendors from the aftermarket world to show off their wares, and we are your first class ticket. Tune in next week. You don't want to miss it. Motorhead Garage at SEMA.